Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Friday edition, the pre-edition here of the Computer America Show. Got a great program planned for you. As always, in the second hour, we're going to have computer and technology news that's brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And in the first hour, they're back. They were on the show before, but, TelTech is here. And if you don't recall what they do, they make some very
until showtime.
Cool products that allow you to, things like spoof cards that let you call a phone and change your caller ID information on that person's phone. They have recording software. They got something new called spoof text. We're going to talk about all the different products. Ethan is here with us. Ethan Gar. He is the Vice President of Product for TelTech. So that's all going to be starting. Of course, our social media winner of the week with that Logitech M535 Bluetooth mouse. So sit back, relax as we begin 2 hours of the Computer America Show in 30 seconds from now. Okay, so here we go. Yes, I did get the email.
Good. Did you get that thing I sent you, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the thing, the email, yes, exactly.
This is all very cloak and dagger.
Yes, and we like
Your
to keep
show
that
will
way.
go live
Here we
in
go.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show about computers and technology. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And it is Friday! Yes, it is. We made another week of broadcasting excellence in the can. Okay, it's been an interesting week. Let's see, only two technology glitches this time. Our website was
Well, that's 2 more than usual. So
yeah, it is exactly. So all of that is coming up, and it's just our website was down for a day, not even a full day, but it was down. But we figured it out. We know what it was. It's all up and running again, and so everything is operational, and we are in our Friday show now. Of course. In the second hour, we're going to be doing computer and technology news that's brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And in the first hour, they've been on the show before, and they keep making new and different products, and I really like this company, and I like what it is that they do and what they make. TelTech is here, TelTech Systems. If you recall, they make a product called Spoof Card. They make a number of technology products, and Spoof Card is an app that you can run on your smartphone that allows you to change the caller ID, so you can look like it's somebody else that's calling it when you make a phone call.
one of those rare apps that actually provides a service to the phone and not just the service within the app itself.
Right, exactly, and they have something called Trap Call. So if someone calls you from a blocked number, you can unmask them and see who those irritating block calls are coming from. You can do that. Yes, exactly. There's also a way to record the calls with Trap Call. They've got all kinds of things. Products allow you to tape record. I mean, it's really, really interesting. And here on the show, we'll
and absolutely no legal issues with it whatsoever. It's a very clear-cut area.
Exactly. Well, we'll explore that too. But we're going to be talking to Ethan Gar. He's the Vice President of Product for TelTech and Systems. So we'll be talking to him momentarily. If you have a comment or question for us or for Ben or for Ethan, we'd love to hear from you. Pick up the phone. Give us a call at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through. Also, if you don't want to go on the air, the other thing you can do is you can go to ComputerAmerica.com and right there on any page, actually, at Computer America, you'll see the little menu bar. It says Home, Live Stream on the left hand. Go down one that says submit a question. It'll take you to a question submission page. You can type in whatever question you like. Click the submit button, and Ben and I will see what you've typed, and it's another way for you to reach us. The other thing you can also do is we invite you to watch the Computer America show. Yes, I understand we're a radio broadcast, but you know what? It's the 21st century, and the visual element is extremely important, and so we provide live video streaming of the show, so you can actually watch the show as well as listen to the show. Again, the way you do that is head over to computeramerica.com. On any page there, on the menu bar, it says live stream. If you click it, you'll be instantly teleported to our live video streaming page. You'll be joining the show already in progress, and actually you can watch the show as well as listen to the show. Just another way for you to get involved. Now, you'll be able to see Ethan. You'll be able to see Ben. Ben actually has the technology, though, to display websites, links, videos, that type of thing. So you'll also be able to see the items that we're talking about on today's show. It just makes for a more interactive experience, and we always invite our listeners to do that. Again, at computeramerica.com, which is truly the internet home of a radio broadcast.
And we're very sad when it goes down.
Very sad. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen very often. Also, we're going to have our social media winner of the week for that. Yep, for that Logitech M535 Bluetooth wireless mouse, valued at $40 from our good friends over at Logitech. We're going to give one of those away probably in the second hour of the show, as we typically do. If you're entered, great. If you're not, head over to computeramerica.com. What you need to do, it's real simple, and you can get your entry in for next week when we give away another one of those. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's it's Friday.
Well,
yeah, I'm sorry.
If there's anything else to mention, I think it's going to be a big congratulations to Computer America correspondent, and normally his time slot, Ralph Bond. He is not here with us. He was here with us last Friday because today his daughter is getting married, and they're having a wedding at his house, if you recall.
Yes, I do. So
a big congratulations to them.
Yes.
Ralph Bond's been a part of Computer America for years, coming up on a decade. I think he said 7 years.
Yeah, he was Intel's consumer education manager for 10 years, and now he's with Autodesk. And you're right, Ralph. Now, Ralph, he was with us last week, but Ralph will be joining us again in September on the 9th, September the 9th, because it's usually the second Friday of every month. So he'll be joining us. Okay, that said, I know it's Friday and there's all kinds of cool things. I still haven't watched any more of Stranger Things. I need to get into that. I haven't done that, I admit it. But
that's a good thing about Netflix. It's not on a time schedule. It's not like, man, I missed the Wednesday showing, so now I have to wait until they rerun it, during the finale.
No,
it's Netflix.
Right, it is, and you can watch it anytime. Anything else you want to mention before we get to our guest?
I thought the Ralph Bond, daughter getting married thing was pretty big, but other than that, no. Stick around for the second hour. Good news, and first hour we have a good guest, so hey, it's going to be a good show.
All right, well, let's get to it. I know he's anxious to get on the show, and we're anxious to talk with him. It's TelTech Systems, and actually the company takes pride in creating astonishing, unique telephony applications, which advance the way people use their phones and their internet connections. That's very, very true. For example, with Spoof Card, you can use your phone and the internet to spoof your caller ID, record your calls, even disguise your voice so no one can recognize you on the phone. Or you can make it sound like you're at the airport, at a doctor's office. I mean, they got some really great sound effects too. So we'll be talking about that and so many more things. Today we'll be speaking about spoof text. That's another new thing, as well as all of their products. Joining us is Ethan Garr. Ethan is the Vice President of Product. Ethan, welcome back into Computer America. How are you?
Good. Thank you, Craig and Ben. Thanks for having me again.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you do some really cool things I have not seen anywhere else, and I'm so thankful for the things that you do because they're so useful. I mean, you find products out there that, they're okay and you don't really, but you target such a need, and I know you're always looking for new things, and that's why we have you back, because you have some new products to talk about. But why don't you, just for the edification of our listeners, kind of give us an overview of what TelTech is and what kind of products that what's the purview of the products that you offer consumers?
Sure. So as you said, we make telephony products. We consider ourselves a communications apps developer. Our apps are communication apps and services that help people, as you said, solve common problems on their mobile phones. But really, they're all related to privacy and security, helping people protect themselves on their phones. So whether, as you pointed out, Trap Call lets you unmask block caller ID. So if
I
it's
love that.
yeah, if someone's calling you at 3 a.m. and from a block number over and over, and you have no idea who it is, Trap Call can help you solve that problem. Spoof Card lets you protect your identity by changing your caller ID. I can give you a simple example. My stepfather's a veterinarian. When he gets an emergency in the middle of the night and he needs to call one of his patients back, he's at home, but he doesn't really want to call them from his home number or his mobile phone. He likes to keep those private. So he changes his caller ID to use his office phone number, and that's what the consumer sees, and it gives him a level of comfort that, at 4 in the morning the next night, if the person's dog has a stub toe, a stub nail, they won't call him for that.
Yeah.
And then Tape Call allows you to keep people honest by recording your calls on your iPhone. So on Android, there's lots of different services that let you record calls, including Tape Call. But on the iPhone, it's a little harder to do well, and Tape Call allows you to use your iPhone's built-in three-way calling feature to make a three-way call with you, your party, and our recording line. So
Right.
all of our apps are in that purview.
Right, exactly, and it's a great purview too, and you're always looking for new things, and we're going to get into that. But certainly, I want to talk about some of the. I guess you have like flagship, what I would consider your flagship products, and then get into some of the other products as well. They may be a little more, how should I say, not as mainstream, but they certainly provide abilities that you could not normally do without. I mean, if you don't have them. Something as simple as taping a phone call or recording a phone call. There's no easy way to do that, and certainly with the products that TelTech provides, you have different ways of doing that, and all of them have different abilities too. So I'm going to go over. Probably the best way will be going product by product and kind of ask you about each one, and then let you kind of explain everything. And I guess what we'll first start off is with your flagship product, which is I think called Spoof Card, which is the one that's how I actually found out about you a couple of years ago, because I was, there's got to be some way. I hate just blocking my call. I'd like to. Sometimes you want to get through to somebody and they're not going to pick up the phone if it's you, and you go, so I need to find some way of
I can't tell you how many times Craig has tricked me. At 5:30, I'm off work, and it's like, oh, hey, check that out.
And Craig, it's funny that you say that, just because that's really how Spoof Card got started. Mayor Cohen, who you've spoken to, our CEO, I guess now going on a little over 10 years ago. He was actually in the locksmith business, and he had customers who owed him some money, and they weren't bad people, but they didn't really want to take his calls. And you get tired of going across the street to your neighbor's house to try to call them so that your caller ID isn't the same. And he had this idea, so he called the smartest guy he knew, Ellie Finkelman, who's our CTO, and he said, "Ellie, you think we could change my caller ID?" And Ellie said, "Yeah, I think I could figure that out." And that was really the genesis of Spoof Card, and that was 10 years ago. It was a hit. It was before apps in the App Store, really, and it was just a web service then, and it's grown and grown since then. And it's really become a product that professionals use. I mean, I gave you the example of my stepfather, the veterinarian, but it's really a product that professionals use for that purpose, to protect their identity. To maintain a consistent phone number. I mean, you think about a small distributed company. You've got a sales guy on the East Coast and the West Coast, and someone in the middle of the country. You want to have one consistent phone number that users can call back. If you use Spoof Card, you can always maintain that number.
And again, you make an excellent point. Now, one of the things I want people to sense, when you use Spoof Card to make a call and you change the caller ID, and we'll get into exactly how that works. Another interesting thing, which I didn't realize, is that when you pick the number that you want to display, If it just as, let's just say the number I picked was, the local electrical company or the power company, the caller ID number is going to display, and the name of the company that's associated to that number will display as well. In other words, you somehow look it up. If you call and you change the number to something that, um, in other words, it's going to pass along the caller ID information from that particular company.
Well, actually, that's going to depend. If the person is in your contacts, in the recipient of your call's contacts,
Right.
then they'll see that information. If not, depending on your phone, now with like iPhone does some predictive information, does some predictive technology in terms of deciding who it might be. And so does Android phones. So it's really going to depend on the number you're using, whether how that number is displayed.
Okay.
But at the base level, it will just be the phone number that you chose.
Yes, exactly. Which again, I think is a really slick ability. Now, when you launch SpoofCard, you have basically 3 categories that comes up and it says make a call, background noise, and group spoofing. So now when you make a call, you say make a call. It's going to ask you the number that you're calling, which you put in, and then this is caller ID to display. So you'll put in the phone number that you want to emulate. Now, if you don't really care, you can put any number you want in there, I would assume.
Sure.
But I find that try to find a number, let's say in the same area code of the place that you're calling or something,
Right.
make it a little more realistic. It depends on the circumstances. It depends on how you want to get through. And then one of the other things it allow you to do is you can also disguise your voice. You can make it sound like a man or a woman or none. You can do either 3.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did you say a nun?
Or none, N-O-N-E.
Just meaning your own voice.
Oh, I thought you meant like the ones with the habit. And,
No,
okay.
not N-U-N, no, N-O-N-E. Now, the man or the woman, if you listen to it, it's going to sound, will it sound kind of artificial? I mean, it doesn't sound like it sounds a little synthetic, I think is what it is I'm looking at.
Yeah, I think the female voice sounds a little bit more realistic than the male voice. Those are things that we're actively working on to try to improve.
Okay.
But certainly it will deflect the sound of your voice enough that the person on the other end will not recognize who's calling.
And then there's a little check mark that says if you want to, it says record this call. So if you check that, you'll also record both sides of the conversation too.
Right. So one of the great things about SpoofCard, like all of our products, it includes a recording feature. So you can record outgoing calls, and that again helps you keep people honest, keep a record of who's calling. I think we'll talk about tape-a-call. I mean, as a journalist, I assume you're interviewing people over the phone, often not in a live setting like this, and it's just nice to be able to have that record and be able to refer to it. So.
Yes, it is. It's very nice. And then the second thing.
Well, before we move on from the recording calls, and that is where I definitely said it sarcastically at the very beginning of the show. What kind of legal hurdles did you guys have to kind of overcome to get something like recording calls into your app? I mean, is all the legalese on the burden of the user, or did you guys comply with certain aspects?
So when you make a record call, when you record a call, the burden is on the person recording the call. But certainly we try to help our users understand what the ramifications are. So I'm not a lawyer, but there are what's known as one-party states and two-party states. In a one-party state, only one party on the recording, which can be the person making the recording, has to know that the call is being recorded. Whereas a two-party state, both sides need to know. So our products do different things to offer you the ability to either warn the person up front, or at least to tell you that you should warn the person up front. An interesting, just an important thing for consumers to understand is when you record a call, even if you're in a one-party state, if you're recording a call with someone who's in a two-party state, and they're in that two-party state, the laws of that two-party state do apply. So you can't just assume because you're in a one-party state that you're always safe making a recording. You have to comply with those laws. So our recommendation is always to give the warning. Just let the person know that you are recording their call.
All right, that's right. Fair enough.
Right, and I was sitting there for a second. I was like, what about zero-party calls? But no, it makes sense because then that keeps you from government surveillance and things like that. No, it's definitely an important matter. But I would think for most people out there, if you're just doing this for your own records, saying, what do we talk about, when do we call, that kind of thing, unless you're going to submit this into evidence in some legal matter, then recording your own calls really isn't that big a deal.
Yeah, I think it's you should always err on the side of safety. I mean, it's fairly easy to do. In most cases, the other person knowing that you're recording them is not something that they're going to, at least in the case of most professional calls, it's not something that the person on the other line is going to have an issue with. But I think it's important just to make sure that users understand the nuance and comply and always protect themselves.
All right, well, so let's continue on under spoof card. The second option is you have something called background noise. So basically, you can trick the person that you're calling to thinking you're somewhere that you're not. So basically, you have the same thing. This is all part of spoof card. You put in the number that you want to call. You put in the caller ID display that you want to display, and then it offers some choices. Of course, again, none, N-O-N-E, and then you have.
Thank you for making that clear, because you don't want the organ in the background, whatever.
Yeah, and then.
By the way, I just want you to know I'm so glad that it's not a typo that I made on the site.
The next thing is the airport. Now, I have never used this. I mean, when you click airport, what do you hear? Is it like airport sounds, or you hear?
Yeah, it's what you'd expect from an airport, jet noises and things like that. So yeah, you could certainly make it sound like I gotta leave. I'm about to catch this flight.
Very cool. And then the next one is dogs. What is dogs?
Dogs, just what you'd expect. So I guess that would be a good example for my stepfather. If you wants you to always think that he's always on call, literally at his animal hospital, he can put dogs in the background.
You got you.
Yeah, well, just like this. Like I can see dogs being useful. I know that whenever someone comes to to my house and they ring the doorbell, the dogs, of course, have to chime in. So play the dog sound and hey, I gotta go. Someone's at the door. So yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, certainly if you're in a dispute with someone and you want to make sure that they don't show up at your door, having the sound of dogs in the background might be a deterrent.
That's cool. And then the third thing is it says police. Now, what does police do?
It's sirens. It's like it'll give you the it's like as if you're on the street and the police were there.
Okay, all right. So that's some different things. And then the third option for spoof card is something called group spoofing. Now, what is group spoofing allow you to do?
So group spoofing allows you to do the same thing, to change your caller ID, but call multiple numbers at once.
So in other words,
and actually so you're setting up essentially a group call with those people.
So it's basically like a conference call. You can call 2 or 3 people, and all those 3 people are going to see the different caller ID. Mm-hmm. Each one of these options, by the way, has an option for you to record the call too, which is nice. So
yes. Yeah,
exactly.
And yeah, recording is a popular feature across all of our products, and our products do recording in different ways, and they all serve a different purpose. So whereas tape call I think is really good for the journalist and it works for a lot of situations. It's great for journalists who use their iPhones to record interviews. I think at the same time, spoof card and tape call, they specifically allow you to record calls when you need to, in terms of that protection and privacy.
Okay. All right. So now that's and now what does spoof card cost? In other words, I assume that the app itself is free to download, and then you have to. How does it work? You buy credits? How does
exactly. It's credits. And just to be clear, we do have both an iPhone and Android app. We're actually really looking forward to, within just a few weeks, we'll be launching a brand new iOS app, and hopefully not too long after that, a new Android app, just to bring our apps as current as possible and make them as user-friendly as possible. But the great thing about spoof card and trap call is they really are services. You actually don't need the apps to use the services. You can sign up from our websites as well, so just spoofcard.com and trapcall.com. Spoof card is sold by the credit. 1 credit in the U.S. roughly equals 1 minute. and we have different packages starting at $9.95, where you'll get 45 credits. And we have packages that go from $9.95 up to $99.95. So, for example, $29.95 would get you 160 credits, or roughly 100 minutes of talk time.
Wow.
And where that would change is if you're calling internationally, you'll consume credits faster.
Mm. Well,
And
yeah.
luckily, and of course, luckily, most phone plans out there, people really don't care about voice all that often anymore. It's all about the data and how much data you can get and pull down. So minutes, at least for additional charges apply because of your cell phone carrier. Usually not, because most cell phone carriers offer free minutes. So
right.
Good there.
Right. And again, you could use spoof card also from a landline phone as well.
Okay. Yes, that's right. In other words, you don't necessarily need the app. You can actually get like a PIN number, I believe, and you call it up, and then you enter in your PIN number, and then you can make a spoof card call from literally any telephone, which is actually a very good point. So you can use your mobile phone for the spoof card, or you can actually use a landline phone or any other phone for that matter.
Yeah, and you can use it for international calls at a reasonable rate as well. So.
All right. Now the other thing is that another feature you have, which I have not used, is something called straight to voicemail. That's in spoof card. How do you use that? What would be the purpose of going straight to voicemail?
So straight to voicemail would be if you call somebody, if you want to call someone and just leave a message. We've come up with a clever trick to basically bypass the phone ringing to the person and just go to their voicemail. So suppose you wanted to leave a message in someone's mailbox, but you really didn't want to speak to them. You just have to give them a bit of information, but there's someone who you really don't want to spend 45 minutes having that conversation with. You want to just give them an answer.
Okay.
You turn on that feature, and spoof card will magically make that call go directly into that person's voicemail.
Now, is that something that's on the app, or is that something strictly on when you're using a landline? Because
well, it's not restricted to landlines, but it's available through the website. But we do plan to bring it into the new spoof card app.
And when is the new spoof card app going to become available?
I don't want to put our engineers on the spot, but I am actually hoping we're very close that the iOS version will get submitted to the App Store within the next 2 weeks. So I would say, early September is a very reasonable expectation for that.
So if you have spoof card on your phone and you're using iTunes updated, I guess it'll let you know that it'll just let you know there's a newer version and update the version automatically. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a very sleek and modern design. It's really easy to use, and the thing about app development is you definitely learn as you go. And it's nice to be able to once in a while do really a full update like this and say, here's a very new version. We've really tried to clean it up to make it as user-friendly as possible.
Very, very cool. All right, now I think we'll move on. Is there anything else you want to mention about spoof card before we move over to the next one up, which is the trap call?
Spoof text, maybe?
Yeah, I was gonna, did you want to talk about spoof text now?
Yes.
Or?
Let's talk about spoof text. So what is spoof text?
Okay, so spoof texting allows you to basically anonymously text someone. So you choose from a list of numbers, and you can text the person, and it will, when they see the text, it will come from the phone number that you chose. Internationally, shortly we'll be able to actually allow like true spoof texting in terms of spoofing your caller ID to any number you choose. But in the States, that's not really a possibility. So you'll have a list of numbers to choose down from. We're adding more numbers to choose from. So you would be able to pick a local number, probably from any area fairly shortly. Right now, our initial version of spoof text is one-way communications, but we're actually in the process of building out two-way spoof texting, so you'll be able to send and receive messages from that number that you chose.
Now, will spoof texting, will that be available? Is that a separate app, or is it a website? How does that work?
It's currently in the website, and we do plan to bring it to the apps as well. Okay.
And that's all. So in other words, I would have to go to the website to send the text, the spoof text. I go to your website, go to the... Now, does spoof text fold into spoof card, or is it a separate account, or is that a separate thing that you do?
Oh no, it's the same account. It uses credits, 5 credits per spoof text,
Okay.
per 160 characters essentially.
Very, very cool. All right. Now, when we come back, I think we're gonna start talking about trap call, because this is I think trap call along with spoof card is probably your second flagship product, because it's so rich and it's got so many things to talk about with that, and it truly is an amazing product.
Yeah, I don't know which to call our flagship product. I treat all my children equally. So.
Exactly. All right. So I'll
And
tell you
hopefully we'll be able to get into the topic. Well, we have like a minute now. Let's say someone has a spoof card and someone has spoof cards so that you can kind of see who's calling. Which of your technologies wins in that case?
You're saying, can trap call unmask a spoof call?
That one. Yes.
So no, trap call will not unmask a spoof call. However, trap call really unmasks block calls, and it does have. We're actually adding, and this is another
Well,
feature.
I'll tell you what. That's what I was trying to avoid. We're too close to the break. So
Okay.
let's get to this in the second part of the show. Okay.
Sounds
Anyway,
good.
you're listening to Ethan Garr. He is. We're talking about TelTech, technology company that allows you to do all these really cool things with all these different mobile devices. We've got a news tip bull review coming up as well. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Computer America Show.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
This weather has more hot flashes than a Pilates class. Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the USR voice modem. Now, here's a double whammy blast from the past. The brand, US Robotics, once a big player in the computer industry because of its dial-up modems. Plus, of all things, a dial-up modem we just got in for review. Wondering why? Modems can connect to an analog landline or to the standard phone jack on a VoIP line and follow commands to take the line off hook or dial a number. The USR 5637 is a USB-connected V92 modem with voice features. We needed a way to let automation call the fire department or loop a stored message until the other side hangs up. This does that. Bottom line, the US Robotics USR 5637 USB modem shows that it sometimes means going old school to get your requirements met. Marty Winston, News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
And welcome back to the Computer America Show. It is 33 minutes past the hour as we continue on here on a lovely Friday afternoon. We are, first hour with our guests, second hour we're doing computer technology news and a giveaway. So, I know that a lot of you enjoy that. So, it's always fun to hear someone is about to have a little bit better weekend because, hey, they won a free prize. But in the first hour, we do indeed have the vice president of product for TelTech Systems, and this is Mr. Ethan Garr. We right before the break, I asked, of course, the question: trap call versus spoof call, a spoof card. There we go. And kind of unstoppable force, unmovable objects. The two meet. Which one actually comes out on top? And it started to sound like that. They each provide a little bit of functionality, but it sounds like that the spoof card, above all else, it's going to protect your privacy using that service.
For sure, and we wouldn't compromise that we won't compromise that for the user.
Right. No, exactly. So then let's move into the next product which you have called Trap Call, and I had heard about this, but at the time I really couldn't put the research that I needed to do into it to understand what it was that you're doing, and now that I have, I think that it's really important that our listeners understand what Trap Call will do for them. This is an amazing product. Again, you can see that Ben's actually showing the website, which allows you to unmask blocked caller ID calls. I don't know how many times you've gotten unknown or call blocked or these things on your phone, and you go, I don't know if I want to answer that, or who's calling me if it's coming in at 2 or 3 in the morning. Who is this calling you, and you have
because if nothing else, you really don't know. Caller ID is a feature for a lot of phones, and if you don't know who the caller ID is, it kind of puts you on edge before you even pick up the phone.
Right.
Who is calling me, and why can't I see their number? It can't be anything good.
Yeah, and I think the just growth of spam calls and robocalls in the past several years has just gotten so out of control that I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, I won't even pick up my phone if I don't know who's calling anymore. So we're very proud of the product and what it can do to help people solve part of that problem.
Absolutely. So let's kind of go over this. So when a blocked caller ID comes in, and you have Trap Call, at first you'll see the call. It says blocked, or whatever it says, unknown number, all the different things that depending on your carrier, what it will say.
Well, it's on your iPhone. It's always going to say no caller ID.
No caller, right?
On Android phones, it'll say anything from blocked, restricted to unknown or private.
Right. So what you do when you have Trap Call set up, all you have to do is basically decline the call. Okay, and it only takes a moment. You decline the call, and then that's when the magic begins to happen, because then it goes back to you. Your company strips off the blocked information, in my understanding, and then moments later you see the call coming back to your iPhone, your smartphone, but it's revealed who's calling you. You're going to see it. You're going to see all the information. You'll see the person's name, all the relevant information, and you can go, oh, that's who's calling me at 3 in the morning, and then you can make the decision to answer it or say, hey Joe, why are you calling me at 3 in the morning, whatever it might be. You have this ability, and it only takes a moment. You just basically decline the call, and the caller has no idea that this is going on. They just hear it ring, and probably by the second or third ring, you already have all the information about the caller who's calling you. Is that
right?
A fair?
Correct. One of the cool things is that the caller on the other end doesn't hear anything but ringing. We actually play ringing to them so that they continue to hear ringing while we do the unmasking process, which is very quick. And it's going to depend on a few things in terms of network and carrier. But we return the call really in kind of one swift motion. So you as a user know the call came in as a block call, but now you've unmasked it, and you can actually see who's behind that number. And like you said, I think it's that idea of, hey Bill, stop calling me blocked. That I think that really gives the user control of their phone back. I mean, this is a problem that if you get the occasional block call, this is trap call is certainly a nice convenience, and it helps you, and it's certainly with our other features, it's a robust offering. But when this transitions from the occasional call to just pure harassment, trap call is really the only solution to solve this problem that's reasonable. I mean, you basically have three options if someone's calling you repeatedly from a blocked number to harass you. One is you can change your phone number, and I don't know about you guys, but I've had my same cell phone number for I think 20 years now. I don't want, it's my birthday today, so I'm an old guy today. But
happy birthday, man!
Happy birthday!
Thank you. But yeah, I guess I'm 41 now, and I think I've had a cell phone since I was 21. So I think for 20 years now, I've had the same cell phone number. The thought of changing that number, it's a nightmare. The other option would be to go to the police department, and not that I think the police wouldn't try to help you, but the process, they'd have to have you subpoena your own phone records. You're not going to solve that problem very quickly. With trap call, the very next time that number calls you, you're going to be able to unmask it, identify it, see who's calling, and begin the process of putting a stop to that harassment. And we offer features, beyond just the pure unmasking. We offer features like blacklisting on all of our plans. Our higher plans include everything from our privacy lock to missed call alerts, name and address, caller ID, and recording services, and even voicemail transcriptions. Those different features, when you put those all together, it really makes for a complete package to protect your privacy and security.
Yeah, I didn't think I would like the voicemail transcription, but it's actually it comes to you as a text message, and you can see it. You can read the voicemail that's left. It's interesting because if you have a carrier like AT&T or which has a good voicemail, you'll get the voicemail there, but also you get another. The voicemail is also recorded with trap call, so you can actually listen to it there as well. So you basically. It looks like the voicemail is recorded twice, one on your carriers and one on trap call also gets the voicemail.
Yeah, without boring you guys with the technical details, where possible, we try to give our users their carrier voicemail. There are a few carriers where we just can't do that.
Yeah.
But essentially, we take the recording and we take the voicemail and we send it to your carrier voicemail. At the same time, we do store it on the app and on the website, so you do have access to it from anywhere. And the nice thing about our voicemail is that it's unlimited. There's no, and with some carriers on your iPhone, you'll find that you have to delete voicemails if your list gets too long. And the list is not very long. I think it's only as few as 50 or even 35 voicemails. So it's definitely a nice feature.
Now, one of the things is that you can also blacklist or you can block calls from coming in on the iPhone. I know that with that, I guess at least with AT&T, but you also have blacklist availability with trap call. So now, do they hear both? They hear one or both messages? Which takes preference? Is the block call the block call on my iPhone, or is it the blacklist on trap call? Which one takes precedence?
So our blacklisting is actually very tricky, and I mean that in a good way. We're trying to stop harassment. So if you blacklist a user, and then you get a call from that person, I'm sorry, if you blacklist a caller and you get a call from them, when you decline that call as it's coming in, whether they were a block call or not, we will play to them a message that says that your phone number has been disconnected, which is really a good way to get them to stop calling you ever again. Because I don't know about you, but how many times will you call a number that's been disconnected? So blacklisting is our blacklist is very.
What does the one on the iPhone do if you block a call? What do they hear?
Gotcha. So which is connected. So if you go to a contact and you block that contact.
Yeah.
That call will never reach your phone, and that's very useful. But when if you have our apps, if you blacklist, we set a contact called Trap Call Blacklist. If you block that contact, when you set someone to your blacklist on Trap Call, we'll put them into that contact. If you've blocked that contact, you're essentially, that call will no longer come through to you either.
Okay. So blocking it on my phone. What do they hear, a message, or what do they hear when you block a caller? I never tested it out to see what I would hear.
Um,
Yours comes up and says that the number you've called is no longer in service, which is I understand that.
yeah.
What does the iPhone do, or when you use? Is it? You know
I
what?
I want to say it's carrier dependent, but I believe it'll just ring.
It'll just ring. Okay. All right. Okay. I have to test that out. You know.
Yeah, I actually have to test it out too because I remember thinking about that question at one point, and I'm pretty confident that it'll just ring, but I could be wrong. So
Now
you caught me.
Yeah. Now let me tell you what I think is one of the coolest, useful functions for Trap Call. You have something called number lookup. Now this is currently not on. This is on the website. When you subscribe with the Trap Call, you get this. It's currently not on the phone app, but I understand you will be adding it to the phone app. But for now, you click on number lookup, oh, I'm sorry. I just have the number lookup is on the smartphone. It's not on the website. I had it backwards.
Yeah, correct. You do have it on your app.
Yeah, you have it on the app. You can when you have a call, you see what's blocked. You can go ahead and type in that number, and not only will Trap Call give you the name, but if it's available, it's going to give them the address, the street address, the city, the state, even the zip code. You're going to get everything about this person using number, courtesy of Trap Call. Tell us about this.
So caller ID lookup is something we're working on, sort of in our skunkworks on for all of our products, but it is in Trap Call. We've long offered name and address caller ID in our premium and ultimate packages, which is a lookup that we would essentially we'd send you a text message that shows you where that person is calling from based on the data. But we've really improved the quality of our data, and we have new tools and techniques in place so that the data quality is just improving substantially every day. So from Trap Call you can look up calls. You can look up any number. Depending on your plan, we'll decide how many lookups you get per month. And we're actually really working to expand that functionality out. We're hoping that in the next very shortly, actually, we'll be able to actually bring that into the actual call. So if you unmask a block call, we'll do a lookup against that number, and you'll actually see that all that information that you just described, whether it's name, address, email, street address, right on the screen as the call is coming in. But for right now, you have what we like to think of as some of the best data available on any number.
You know, it sounds to me like I'm almost interviewing you on the cusp because you have all these new improvements coming up. You have so many now, but you're going to even add more, and so probably wind up having you back again when these things actually go through in September or October when you have them. Love to have you back to talk about this even in more detail.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, but the number lookup again on the smartphone app, you can put the number in, or any number in for that matter, and it will show you the name and the address and all the information of that person associated to that phone number. And this can be a home phone, it can be a cell phone. I assume it's any telephone information. If it's out there, you'll be able to get it, which to me is worth its weight in gold to be able to do that. To find out exactly who it is who's calling you, what the number is.
Yeah, and with that, actually, we currently have spam protection services built into that. So if that number that you look up is a known spam caller, you'll see that right on screen. You'll know that it's a spam caller. And again, you're absolutely right. We're aggressively expanding all of our products and trying to constantly think about innovation and growth. And in the next iteration of Trap Call, which is imminent, when I say imminent, like within a week or two, we'll actually be setting a spam contact with the top spam numbers likely to call your phone. So if you get a call, whether it's blocked or not, when that incoming call comes through, your screen will turn red and you'll know that it's a spam caller coming through.
That is so slick. That is cool. And then of course at that point you can elect to add it to the blacklist and do it. So again, so I guess my point is, I want to clarify with the blacklist. So if I have Trap Call available, is it best to use your blacklist, or is it best to use the block caller, or is it best to use both, or does it matter?
I think it's probably best to use both. our blacklist, like I said, if you, as a starting point, is really a very good deterrent. So if you're using it to try to really dissuade someone from calling you back, it's a good way to do it. It's a good way to do it. But over time, once you feel like you've reached that level of comfort, using our blacklist contact in conjunction with the phone's native features really lets you stop those calls from coming into you and distracting your day at all.
All right, very, very cool, very cool. All right, so anything else I want to mention about trap?
Well, the one thing that I want to throw in here is that we've been doing a lot of stories about how the FCC is definitely taking more and more steps to really crack down on robocallers or any type of phone calls with any step of automation in it. And if you can get their actual number, because sometimes it could be robocallers, it could be spam callers, it could be telemarketers, it could be any one of these people, that if you can submit a complaint to the FCC with the proper number and not just oh, someone called me behind a block number or just an untrackable number, then you'll actually be doing some good, because the FCC is cracking down on that. So.
Yeah, it's a tremendous issue. Actually, we won last year the Robocalls Humanity Strikes Back competition, which was held by the FTC. They work closely, obviously, with the FCC. But our submission RoboKiller was actually the winner of that competition. So we've been working on different ways to combat the robocall problem. And actually, a lot of what I'm talking about in terms of spam protection is related to the learnings from that project. And in addition, these are things that we plan to build not only into the current products but into new products as well. So it's definitely something we really focus on. In fact, the FCC publishes a list of complaint numbers that they've received. That's built into our algorithm for detecting spam. Yeah, it's been exciting to work with the branches of government that are working to solve that problem, and try to be part of that solution as well.
Very cool that you were also recognized as trying to help with that problem. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really exciting. It was it's a big competition. The prize was $25,000, and we were we were super proud to be a part of it and to win. Wow.
I didn't realize Mayor Cohen was a locksmith.
Yeah, he's a jack of all trades, a very interesting guy. So he and Ellie Finkelman, they've steered the ship these 10 years in such a way that we really are excited to go to work every day. I mean, I can't tell you how much I love the people, the culture, and just really, I was, you were saying you seem to be on the cusp of so many things. I would say you'd be hard pressed to find a time where you'd speak to us where we wouldn't be on the cusp of a lot of new and great things, because we really we believe in a culture of innovation, and I live growth every day. So it's what we're proud of.
All right, wow. We only have like 6 or 7 minutes left, and there's still so many things I wanted to talk to you about. I guess let's talk about some of the products that like Tape-A-Call or voice recorder. You also have something called No More Voicemail. You have so many of these, and I don't know if we're really going to. Another one called Who App.
Which I know you said you treat all your children equally, but which do you think are some of the favorites?
Well, certainly Trap Call, Tape-A-Call, and Spoof Card are the main products that have put TelTech on the map. They're the ones that have driven our business forward. The ability to record phone calls on your iPhone is something that Tape-A-Call really has set the standard for. It's a top-grossing business app. It's the recognized leader in terms of call recording on iPhones, and we are super proud of it. In a nutshell, as I explained at the beginning of the show, it uses your phone's native call functionality, three-way calling functionality, to set up a three-way call in which one leg of the call is tape a call making that recording. But what's great about that is because it's an app and because it lives using that three-way calling functionality, it doesn't matter whether the call is incoming, whether it's outgoing, or whether it's in progress. If we're on a call and I want to start a recording right now, all I do is say, hang on 1 second. I open the tape call app, press the big red button, and follow the procedure to merge a call, and now we're recording. Same thing for an incoming or an outgoing call. So it's really a powerful app from that standpoint, and the fact that it's one low price per yearly subscription price makes it very reasonable for people to use it. It finds a home for in a lot of people's on a lot of people's phones. In that, I've used the example of journalists, but professionals from all walks of life use tape call. People who are, if you're doing phone training, it's a great way to have a record of that. If you're just trying to, if you're in a dispute with someone, sometimes you want to keep people honest by having a record of that call. There's just a million uses for it. And you mentioned voice recorder. Voice recorder is an app that lets you just record locally. That's actually a free app. So if you're at a conference and you want to record what's being said, you're in a meeting, you want to record what's being said, you're at your daughter's recital, you want to record what's being said. It's just a powerful tool for that, and it works nicely. It's a nice app, companion app to tape call to have on your iPhone. So yeah, it's as I said, call recording is an important piece of the privacy and security world that we really focus on, and tape call is certainly an app we're very proud of. And like our other apps and services, we plan to do more with it in the near future. So it's a growing product.
Tell us quick about No More Voicemail. What does that offer?
So No More Voicemail is actually an outgrowth of Trap Call. We learned from Trap Call users that some of them just didn't want voicemail. Voicemail was just an annoyance for them. So actually, the product owner for Trap Call, he, with one of our designers and one of our engineers, as a weekend side project, decided, why don't we just solve this problem once and for all for people? So over a weekend, they built No More Voicemail. It's a very simple app. You follow a few short steps to change where your decline calls go to, and when you do that, you will no longer get voicemail.
There it is. And I used to think that you could just turn voicemail off, with your carrier. Evidently, you can't, or some don't allow you to do that.
Some won't allow you to do it. It's a little bit. It can be problematic. So it's a free app. It's a very simple way to do it.
Sure. There you go. Well, listen. Again, I wish we had more time to talk about there's some other ones here, but again, the best thing for our listeners to do is head over to the website. Go to you can go to teltech.com.
Actually,
.co. Thank you. Teltech.co. Okay, and you can just click on the products tab, and then you can see all the different products and look at them all, and each one has its own website, and you can see all of the features that are being offered. And again, the prices are extremely reasonable, from free to depending upon how deep you want to get into this or what your needs may be. You're going to see that. And again, just keep in mind that in the next few weeks, there are going to be some major improvements with a number of these products. So we'll certainly have Ethan back on the show to talk about some of the new features that they're implementing with some of these. Again, you can also head over to computeramerica.com, and right there on our homepage, you'll see the TelTech. You can it's just right there for you to click. You can see it, and you can go to the website yourself. And if any of this appeals to you, and I can't imagine it not appealing to most everybody with a smartphone, where you really want to have control over your privacy and who is calling you, and you want to know who's calling you. If they try to, I mean, there are testimonials in there of from women who've gone out on a date, and the guy tries to stalk them, and he's calling them, blocking the call. Well, with something like a trap call, they're able to confront them and say, "Hey, stop calling me. I know who you are." I mean, it's just, you can read some of them, and I think it's just a wonderful thing that you're doing over there, and these things are tools that, when applied correctly, as with any tool in the right hands, you can really do a lot to protect yourself and your privacy, and I think that's what this is all about.
Yeah,
Ethan, yeah.
Thank you so much. I was just going to say, I think we take great pride in it because we do feel like we help people every day, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here to talk with you and your audience about that.
Absolutely. Maybe when next time you come on, we'll talk a little bit about some of the testimonials that you've had here, because you can see them for yourself on the website, but you might want to just talk about a few of the examples of how things like Trap Call have really helped people get their privacy back without having to change the phone number and all those machinations. All right, Ethan Garr again with TelTech Systems. Thank you so much for being with us here, and we look forward to having you back in a few weeks when you get everything up in the new versions of all these products, okay?
Thank you, guys. I really enjoyed it. It's always nice to see you.
All right, take care.
Thanks
Have
again.
a good one. All right, bye-bye. All right, so there you go. Again, TelTech. TelTech, you can go to the website and check out the products for yourself. And you can go to teltech.co, and you can click on the products, and you can see all the different websites and check them out for yourself. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to have computer and technology news, some interesting stories like a computer program, get this, that can replicate your handwriting.
There's OCR that will decrypt your crappy handwriting, and now there is technology that will actually replicate your crappy handwriting.
Right.
So,
well, why would you want it to do that? Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll talk about it. And your hard drive sounds could help hackers crack your system. Just the sounds that it makes. Good grief. We have our social media winner of the week. That's all coming up in hour 2 of the Computer America Show. We're going to be right back.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show about computers and technology. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
I thought that was a really interesting first hour. I mean,
I picked up on that.
Yeah, I mean, it really gives you so much control back over an area where you didn't used to have control with your telephone. Yeah. It really, and to have products like this available, some of them for free, some of them you pay for, but depending upon your needs. I mean, if you really need to have something like this, it's nice to know that products like this are available. We just want to let you know about it. And
sure.
and of course they're going to be back in a few weeks or next month, because they're making improvements to the systems that we we're just talking about. If you missed any portion of the show, you certainly can go back to it after the show is over today. You can go to today's show. We archive all of our programs, again, at ComputerAmerica.com. Just click the Archives tab on any page, and you can see all the places that carry archives of the program, including the Blog Talk Radio Network, the Stitcher, Apple's iTunes, all carry archives of the show, as well as the actual programs themselves, the TuneIn Radio Network and the IRN Radio Network, all available, again, at ComputerAmerica.com, which is the internet home of our radio broadcast. In the second hour, we're going to have our social media winner of the week coming up. That's going to be a lot of fun here on the cusp or the eve of the weekend. Any good movies coming out this weekend? I know the movie with Will Smith came out last week.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Yeah, I know that just came out. That's
the food one by Seth Rogen and gang.
Oh yes, the Sausage Fest or something like that.
Sausage Fest. That's it. No, I'm sorry. Sausage Party. Sausage Party.
Sausage Party. Okay.
Right. Yeah. That's and again, it is getting really good reviews. So it's obviously not going to be for everyone. It's very crass, I guess, is the best word. Definitely not one for the kids.
No.
But no, people have been saying that it's like if you enjoy South Park the movie, a lot of people are saying that it's along the same vein, that it's so out there and so to an extreme that you can't help but laugh.
You know, I keep confusing Seth Rogen and who was the one who did
Seth
the
MacFarlane?
Seth MacFarlane. Yeah, I get them. I don't know because I guess they go start with Seth. Yeah,
And you leave Seth Green out of there. What the heck?
yeah. No, Seth MacFarlane and Seth Rogen are the two, but the last thing Seth MacFarlane did was Ted 2, which I think was the sequel to
Ted 2 still doing well, yeah, he did Ted 2, he did the latest the one with Carl Sagan's old show that they rebooted with
Cosmos.
With Neil deGrasse Tyson, yeah.
Cosmos. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did Cosmos, he's still doing American Dad, he's working on a couple other shows. You know, he's everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Still doing Family Guy, I think. So
and what was it? The movie with Seth Rogen, and the poster for it looked exactly like the Captain America. They're all kind of leaning in toward each other. It was a takeoff of the poster.
I don't know that one.
It was funny. Anyhow.
Oh, and Pete's Dragon, by the way, is another one.
Pete's Dragon, that's coming out this week. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That is one for the kids, not one. Yeah. So
Pete's Dragon is definitely for children. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. Well, we're, as I said, later on in the show today, we're going to be giving away our social media winner of the week prize, the Logitech M535 Bluetooth wireless mouse, to some lucky winner. We'll be calling that probably in the next half hour. We'll do that. But
the only other thing I want to mention is, yay for United States. We are Computer America. Yay for the United States. Have you seen the latest medal count?
No,
for the U.S.
I know we were. I know the Americans won that relay swimming thing, which was amazing.
Well, Americans, but yeah, Michael Phelps is killing it out there in the 200 and 100 meter.
The women's relay race.
I don't know about that. The only headlines I've been able to read are the fact that Michael Phelps won another, I want to say like 4 medals already. So he's now, I think he's up to like 27 gold medals for his Olympic career.
Good grief.
He is the most decorated Olympic athlete ever.
Wow.
And he's comfortably like second place is like 12 medals or something. He's, honestly, the best in a generation or more.
Yeah.
Lucky times if you're a big Olympic athlete, spectator. Lucky for you, you get to see Michael Phelps, in his prime, because I don't know. I just can't imagine winning 27 medals. It's 27 medals, and then I think like 23 of them are gold.
This is the last Olympic game I think he's going to participate in, though.
A lot of people think that. I mean, he's still killing it. Again, it's not like he's coming in second or third or not medaling. At the events, he's still winning gold medals. But a lot of people think that because with he has a newborn baby, he has a wife now. And that wasn't something that was on his docket when he was training, for this Olympic, event. So a lot of people are thinking that with a family and home life and that kind of thing, maybe he'll shift his priorities around to focusing more on his kids than on training day in and day out for the Olympics.
Well, the other thing is obviously everybody knows it's 4 years apart. That's 4 years out of your life, and the other thing is that not all Olympic successes translate into money. It's few and far between.
It certainly has for Phelps. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, so that's good. So he's got his career all set, and I guess he can also go into sports announcing or whatever he wants to do, product endorsement.
Coaching, product endorsement. I mean, he's, of course, I would say the Tiger Woods, but we've seen Tiger Woods erode his own little empire there.
Well,
but
they always say that there's a time to step down and do it gracefully, and maybe this will be it.
See, but here's the thing: like Michael Phelps has been competing at the Olympics ever since 2000. He's been at the last 4 Olympic events.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's still winning gold, against 18-year-olds, against 20-year-olds, and he's, coming and he's fast approaching 40 years old, and he's still winning gold. I mean, really, if he prioritizes training and, keeps up his, keeps up his swimming ability, there's no reason he can't compete at in Japan in 2020.
Well, does he even want to at this point? You know, because
Again, these
four
are
years. It's 4 years. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, these are questions that we'll have to ask. Someone will have to ask Phelps, but at the same time, there's no reason he can't. Like, it's not like he's
how old
the
is he?
last of the pack, and he's the old dog there, and he
How old?
can't keep up. He's winning.
How old is he?
How old is Phelps? I think it was 18 in 2000, so
Yeah.
I think he's about 34 now.
Okay, so he'd be 38 with the other one. So,
And again, at 34 and still winning gold. I mean, who says he can't be 38 and still winning gold?
yeah. Well, we shall see.
That's what you get for being 6'6" and having arms longer than your body.
Yeah.
I mean, there's talent and there's dedication and training and all that kind of stuff. But then again, there's just good genetics, and he is the perfect dedication and natural ability, and really initiative that he's now the most decorated Olympic athlete ever.
Yeah.
But no, the United States is currently sitting at 41 total medals between gold, silver, and bronze for all the events. China coming in number 2, Japan coming in number 3, and Great Britain number 4. So the U.S. showing some dominance. We like that. Computer America. We like that.
It is. All right. So again, we're going to get into the computer and technology news, and all that's coming up here. Sponsored by Slimware Utilities. So, anything else, or we just start doing computer news?
I think we can just do news.
All right, let's just do it. Today's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system. Check them out at slimwareutilities.com. You'll be really happy that you did.
Okay, dokie. Let us start off. And, again, we do have a lot of good stories. We're going to try to get to as many as possible. But, one area that is really coming into its own, and that's technology in medicine. And technology in medicine, we didn't do the story the other day about how they're using neural implants to stimulate the brain, and it's causing coma patients to wake up because their brain activity, it kind of jump starts their brain, and hey, if they can cure comas in a few years, there's nothing saying that there are reasons for medically induced comas, and that is like in serious extreme cases, because you don't know when someone would wake up from that coma. But if you can put someone into a medically induced coma and then take them out of the coma, then that opens up a lot of possibilities for medicine.
Okay.
And another area is, of course, paralyzed patients who no longer have control of their arms or legs. And we've heard everything from exoskeletons. We've heard things that are implanted into the nervous system, like into the spine, that connects the legs to the spine so that you can hear those. We've heard prosthetics that can be controlled by the brain. And now we have this one from Popular Science, where virtual reality programs could help paralyzed patients walk again. And this is utilizing both virtual reality and brain interface systems. Researchers were able to help patients regain some motion. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So, results from a recent experiment have demonstrated that special brain-machine interfaces, when used in addition to exoskeletons and virtual reality, could very well help paralyzed patients regain movement after spinal cord injuries. So, in short, virtual reality physical therapy, there's a new niche for anyone out there who's looking to train into a new field. Virtual reality physical therapy could eventually help patients walk again.
Wow.
So the systems and its resulting experiments conducted by Duke University was successful in opening up partial restoration of muscle control and sensations in patients' lower limbs. This was possible after the patients were put through an aggressive training regimen with brain-controlled robotics and virtual reality technology. This level of recovery is unprecedented in patients with long-term paralysis, according to the research, and was successful in restoring some sensation to 8 patients previously diagnosed with spinal cord injuries. Very, very cool. So, they're saying that the training program utilized brain-machine interfaces, which, in conjunction with, of course, virtual reality. If you see the picture there, is actually a picture of an Oculus Rift.
Actually,
if you're looking,
we can't see the website. You should show the website there.
I showed it at the very beginning. The Oculus Rift. I showed it at the. Oh, well, yeah. Now, again, if you're watching the video portion, you can see how I just made myself look like a fool. But if again, Popular Science, and this is by Brittany Vincent, and there's a picture. There's a gentleman wearing, obviously an exoskeleton in virtual reality to help him move his legs. So the training program utilized, again, brain-machine interfaces and virtual reality assisted patients with visualizing the brain-controlled movements and mind-body awareness. So with a representation of their own bodies, they were able to better make a connection between VR and their physical being to make training regimen more successful. So they're saying that they're saying that they had a variety of different ages that they tried this on, and patients regained varying amounts of sensation, ranging from some feeling and muscle control and an astonishing ability to move in a 32-year-old woman who had been paralyzed for 13 years.
Wow.
Crazy. So she was able to move her legs on her own and her body weight supported by a harness after about 13 months of the treatment. That's not bad.
No.
Going from completely paralyzed, cannot feel your legs whatsoever, and really having no sensation, to after just a year of, admittedly, they did say intense physical therapy, but having sensation to move her legs and under some assistance support herself. That's just incredible that virtual reality could do something like that. So these experiments aren't the first to test treatments like this one, though they are certainly some of the more promising ones. The researchers are looking forward to testing out additional treatment plans in the future on more recently injured patients to see how things change. And they have a little video there included, but the long and skinny of it was that this treatment for paralysis put them in a virtual reality headset, and using an exoskeleton, they were able to, not like they had to, hold a controller or anything like that. They just had to sit there with the equipment on and think as hard as they could to, try to get some sensation, try to get some motion, and just really, try to visualize. And then, with the assistance of the brain, the brain monitoring hardware, if they thought about it, they were able to, either reconnect those connections or get some sensation. It's obviously very, very early. They only had a couple of patients treated this way, but the results seem very, very promising.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. I believe that then, at least in your lifetime, they're gonna find ways to either repair spinal cords.
Well, like I said, just a couple of shows ago, that come September, Russia is going to announce how they're going to perform the world's first full head transplant.
Yeah. Well,
onto a new body.
Boy.
Yeah,
That's science fiction. Yeah, exactly. Here it is. Wow.
Yeah, and again, at that point, what's really the transplant? Like, are you transplanting the body or are you transplanting the head? It's confusing. But hey, if they if they get this to work, then in any sense of I don't want to say normal life, but in a sense of having some kind of quality of life, then that is going to be one of the biggest accomplishments in modern medicine, is going to be able to transplant one head onto a different body.
A head transplant.
That's Frankenstein stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is. But without the horror, hopefully.
Without the horror, hopefully. I mean, just kind of talking.
No outrage village
No torches, no angry villagers, no windmills that you have to burn down. No, but just from looking over that case, the gentleman that is supplying the head, and of course they'll have a suitable body, lined up. That's I think currently, currently in a vegetative state, so they have a body lined up, and the gentleman with the head, he, his body is, muscular degenerative diseases are awful, and like really his quality of life, he agrees that if there's any chance whatsoever that this works, he's willing to take it. And I think it's really exciting when you see medicine, people really putting up what it takes to advance medicine like that.
A head transplant. I still can't believe it. But okay. Well, we'll keep following that. All right, this next story is a follow-up to one that we did a couple of days ago, and this was basically AdBlock Plus. Remember AdBlock Plus and Facebook? And Facebook attempted to restrict ad blockers like AdBlock Plus, and then AdBlock Plus said, no, we're not going to let that happen. Well, we have a follow-up.
That good old game of cat and mouse.
Yeah. And again, just to let you know, AdBlock Plus will be on the show on the 30th, I believe. On the 30th of August. Yep, we're going to have the same gentleman who's located in Germany, Ben Williams, is going to be on the show from AdBlock Plus to comment and talk about this. But this, according to the story from Engadget, Devendra Hardwar wrote about this. He said the war between Facebook and ad blockers is heating up. No fooling, because neither is going to back off, obviously. So just 2 days after the social network announced plans to restrict software that removes its advertising, the popular utility AdBlock Plus has already unveiled a workaround. All you need to do is update your AdBlock Plus filters to banish those ads once again. Facebook previously said that it didn't pay to be whitelisted by any ad blocking company. Instead, it changed how its ads are recognized and also gave users more control over what sorts of ads they see. So now, again,
and just to be fair, we actually did do this story when it first broke yesterday or
day before,
maybe even Monday.
Yeah,
because we didn't do it the day before because that was Wednesday with Sandy Berger.
Yes, that's true. Okay,
like we actually already read this whole article.
Right.
The only thing that's new is, of course, the update at the very end.
Okay, so and again, they quote Ben Williams talking about this, saying that it was, if it happens, the ad blocking community will likely find another workaround. Well, the update from TechCrunch reports that Facebook has already begun rolling out code that will disable AdBlock Plus's workaround. So here we go.
So yeah, that's the update, and that is exactly what I said. Was that you have this scenario where you can come up with something that's going to make, that's going to prevent ads from showing up on your feed or prevent ads showing up on Facebook. But at the same time, the way that you spread the word, it gives people like Facebook's engineers all the code to see exactly where they are breaking the ad delivery service. So, by them essentially saying, here's how we did it, Facebook engineers just had to sit there for a couple hours and think, well, what if we did this? And there you go. Now you see ads on Facebook again.
Yeah, there it is. So they'll continue to do this. Again, we're going to have Ben Williams here on the 30th, which is a Tuesday. And I'm sure they'll still be in the thick of it. So we can get an updated commentary from him as to what AdBlock Plus is doing.
Absolutely. So, but Craig, that was a really short story. Again, that wasn't even a short story. That was just an update to a story. Right. So I'll let you do another one.
Yeah. So I teased this before about a computer program that can replicate your handwriting. Wow. This again from Engadget. Nick Summers for this. He says even the worst penmanship can be mimicked. Now, let's face it, handwriting,
very personal.
Your signature specifically really is a form of protecting. I mean, when you sign
it's a form of identification.
Yeah, an important one that's been around for hundreds of years, quite frankly. From signing a contract, whatever, your signature is your bond, really. However, this story says that handwriting is a skill that feels personal and unique to all of us, and everyone has a slightly different style. A weird quirk or seemingly illegible scrawl that's nearly impossible for anyone, let alone a computer, to replicate. And a lot people's penmanship can change from one line to the next too. Yet I know when you look at your handwriting, Ben, and when I look at my handwriting, we know it's our handwriting, and we can identify it immediately.
Oh no, yeah, I can see like things that influence my handwriting. Like I can see where in 4th grade I was taught cursive, in 5th grade I was only taught cursive. I'm sorry, I was only allowed to submit assignments in 5th grade only in cursive. And then I never used cursive ever again in my life. What a useless skill to have.
You talking about script? You talking about script? Script.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about cursive. Cursive handwriting. I never used cursive handwriting again after 5th grade. But it affected my script where I now, write some letters in cursive.
Yeah.
Rather than
standalone letters.
Script.
Yeah.
So like my handwriting, I can pick it out because I know that, like when I write my S's, I write, cursive S's and everything else is script. So yeah, it's very, very personal because I can see the influences that led to my handwriting being that way.
Well, anyway, this team at University College of London is getting pretty close to with a new system called My Text in Your Handwriting. This is a custom algorithm which is able to scan what you've written on a piece of paper and then reproduce your style to an impressive degree using whatever words you wish. Now, let me just tell you, there was a program years ago for the Mac that would do something like this. But basically, this is almost pre-internet and everything. You would take a sample of your writing and then either email it or you would email it to the company, and the company would come back and send you a font of your handwriting. And the interesting thing about it is the way you did it is that it would be script. In other words, so when you wrote original words, it would know what the T was a swoop down or the I was a swoop up or the whatever letters were up, and it would actually connect the letters. So it wasn't just a dumb font. It was a piece of software that worked with the font to create. So you could take a text document that you typed in your word processor and switch over to this font, and it would actually connect it so it looked like your handwriting.
Right.
And I cannot remember the name of the company for the life of me, but I don't even know if it's still around. However, so this isn't new. I mean, people were doing this, but
I think the cool thing about this is that it will take a snippet, it'll take a sample, and then it'll make an entire font around that sample.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Basically, it'll take what you've written on a piece of paper and then reproduce your style to an impressive degree of whatever words you wish to say. Now, to capture your handwriting, the team will ask you to write on 4 A4 size sheets of paper. Okay. The text is then scanned and converted into thin skeletal lines. It's broken down by a computer and a human moderator, assigning letters and the position within a word. They also look for splits where the line changes from a letter into a ligature. The extra bits you need for joined up handwriting. That's the big thing. You just can't have letter for letter. They have to connect because, like a W, you finish on an upward stroke, where let's say the letter I, you're in a downward stroke, and yet they still have to connect them. You just can't have these letters standing alone. They have to be connected, and that's part of the intelligence and the difficulty.
Right, and if you're watching the video here, they're showing like they have a sample. Someone wrote the word dilapidated, and they were able to analyze it, take it, and then they take the word dilapidated, and then they reproduce the word distinguishing. And the one that is distinguishing as I'm sorry, I have that backwards. Anyways, distinguishing is in their handwriting, and they reproduce the word dilapidated, and honestly, they look like they're written by the same person.
Yeah, they do.
One is a computer replication of the original handwriting.
And they talk about these extra bits, the links, which indicate that 2 separate marks are part of the same letter. For example, when crossing a T, okay, you start making something that looks like an I, and then you cross it with a T. So it's Your script is supposed to be, you don't lift the pen up off the paper, but obviously there are times when you need to. When you're dotting an I or crossing a T, you lift the pen up to do that. Okay, and the algorithm that they use here continues to takes advantage. I mean, needs to take advantage of that, which it obviously does. This algorithm, what we're talking about, then works to replicate your handwriting style by referencing and adapting your previously scanned examples. This sounds a lot like this company that was back in the 90s that we use.
Well, this is done by universities, so probably not.
You will have written the same letter on a number of different occasions, so the computer will look for. Oh, that was the other thing. The one that when it would ask to do several iterations of the same letter, because they didn't want it to always look like the same letter in your handwriting, so it would have different versions of the letter S or the letter T, because it all depends, again, also what letter it's next to or leading into, before to. That will change the style of that particular letter. So this software that I was using back then would so when you looked at different letter S's, they would actually look different, because in many cases they were different because they were next to different letters. So the letters to which they were either before or after would also change the characteristic of the letter, which they took into account. And it looks like this is doing the same thing. Because you have to write the same letter on a number of different occasions, so the computer will look for the one that works best for the word or phrase it's trying to sketch out. And also they throw in a degree of randomness, which is applied to ensure that the same letters and combinations aren't used more than once, which would be an easy way for humans to figure out if a computer has written something. Now, on that version, I don't know if they did that or not. I don't know if they added the degree of randomness. They may have. I can't remember. I'll just err on the side and saying that they didn't. This would be an improvement. Oh, wow, we're at the bottom of the hour. All right, well, basically, this is what it says it is. They're coming up with this technology to replicate your handwriting. We're going to pause and we're going to get back. We're going to have our social media, the winner of the week, coming back. We also have our news tips bulletin review, the last one for this week with Marty Winston. We're going to be right back with more news and technology. You're listening to the Computer America Show. Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Sure, you can go outside and cook eggs on the sidewalk, but they break when you try to plate them. I'm Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, Tomlin, relax and calm, choose. Our dog Buddy is a Jack Russell, a breed that thinks they're the undisputable bosses of their turf and won't hesitate to bark aggressively at the slightest provocation, which makes walks with him a challenge or phone calls when somebody's at the door. So we got in Tomlin Relax and Calm Chews review. Now, its most active ingredient is L-tryptophan, so think about the way you feel after a big holiday turkey dinner. It must be tasty for the dogs because Buddy snaps it up like a treat, and in about an hour, he looks like he's reliving the 60s.
Turkey.
Bottom line, the Tomlin Relax and Calm Chews help bring the dog's nervous energy, as well as its owners, to a more relaxed state of being. Marty Winston, News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
And welcome back to the Computer America Show with added commentary from Craig. So, we are doing computer and technology news, and before we get to our Logitech giveaway, I just want to wrap up, at least say the last line of this article we did about the
Handwriting, yeah.
university that is replicating people's handwriting just by, and again, it's not just, write every letter of the alphabet and we'll reproduce you a font. No, it's taking, just a sample of text and it's able to reproduce that text. Like they even took a snippet from a newspaper and they were able to reproduce the newspaper's font. So it's a lot of different things, but the last paragraph really makes a point, saying that if you're wondering if this sort of technology could be used to forge signatures in documents, then the answer is yes, it's possible. But the team at UCL has stressed that, however, that their system works both ways, meaning it could be used by law enforcement to spot computer-aided forgeries too. So, still, it's always best to be wary the next time someone tries to sell you an autograph. So, yeah, and that's another good point. What if, let's say that we have handwritten notes from Michael Phelps, and over the course of the next 10 years, this technology becomes propagated by, almost everyone, and all of a sudden, everything is signed by Michael Phelps, and you don't know what's real memorabilia and what is simply, someone printed out their signature and pasted it on a jersey.
Yeah.
It's good to develop this technology as far as it can go, because if you develop it, then you'll know what to look for when you start spotting fakes. So you can't just stick your head in the sand and say, no, this is technology that should never be invented because someone's going to invent it.
I
Right.
I agree.
With that being said, let us move on to our Logitech contest, where our social media contest winner of the week.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's do that because we do have that. And basically, this is for the Logitech M535 Bluetooth mouse. It's valued at $40, and that winner is Mike Wegener. Mike Wegener, congratulations. You're this week's social media winner. Mike actually listens to Computer America in New London, Wisconsin. I never heard of New London, Wisconsin. You familiar with that one? No.
Yes, of course. I know all of these cities across our great country.
Yeah.
And New London is my favorite.
The only thing I know about I know the stereotypical thing. They make great cheese. Wisconsin.
It's just because they're Wisconsins?
Yeah.
Wisconsinites?
Yeah. New London. Anyway, Mike wins the Logitech M535 Bluetooth wireless mouse, valued at $40. So congratulations to Mike Wegener. You're our winner. Head over to computeramerica.com. Again, just under our Interact pull-down menu there at computeramerica.com, you'll see our social media contest. Just click on that. It's real simple to do. You can follow up to 5 different social media sites that we participate in, and each one counts for an entry, and you only have to do it once, and then every week you'll have 5 entries automatically to win that mouse. It's real simple. We highly recommend that you do it. But again, congratulations to Mike Wegener. You're a winner for this week. Okay, so anyway, I thought I found something, but I can't even find it on Google. I don't think the company's in business anymore. I even tried to do a historical search, couldn't find anything. But I know it was done in the early 90s. They did something like this where you could actually create documents with your own handwriting.
I never really got into that because in the early 90s I was focusing on Diablo 2. It was a busy time for me, but I did know that they had, text to speech kind of things.
Mhm.
It would not surprise me that, if they had text to speech, that means they obviously had some sort of program that would automate writing.
Yeah.
And it would not surprise me if automated writing could include, hey, automate your own handwriting.
Yeah.
So,
But I guess why the resurgence? Why are they doing it again? I'm not sure. Maybe they think they could do it better now, perhaps. I'm not sure.
OCR has come a long way, you have to admit.
Yeah.
And after OCR, then, when you start being able to detect patterns, then,
Well-
hey, why not extend that to, because before, OCR, like, really only worked best with like Times New Roman and, like the default fonts.
Mhm.
OCR came a long way with handwriting, and as soon as you had a 99.99% accuracy with handwriting, then there's no reason not to.
Yeah, but it wasn't even OCR. The whole point of the font that was you basically you would type a document. You would type something in your word processor, whatever it might be. You save it, and then you would go and you would highlight the whole thing. You would and then you would select the handwriting font, and all the text that you typed would just change. It looked like you had handwritten it. And
But it would look like generic handwriting.
well, no, you sent in, your sample of handwriting that they send back to you. They create a font on a disk that they would send to you, and there would be a piece of software also. So after you did the conversion, it would go ahead and further process it to find the best connectivity for all the different handwritings that they had, and then it would look like you would actually written it rather than typed it. And then you could print it out to your laser printer. But again, it's been done before. I guess they were just doing a little slightly different this time. So
That seems a lot more complicated. And of course, this is done by a university. And like they said, this has more applications outside of,
okay.
oh, hey, isn't it typing your own font? No, this has more applications beyond what is a computer generated forgery and what isn't. So, even if it's simply used by law enforcement, then it still has a purpose, but it could also be put into the consumer space to, just take a snippet of handwriting. And again, you don't need to write, you don't need to write the dictionary and they're like, okay, we got your handwriting. No, they just take a sample and they're able to reproduce, the entire font just from a word or a line of text.
Doesn't make you feel very secure.
Well, when nothing is so personal that it can't be replicated, then hey, it just shows that you're living in the future.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think for the next story, we talked a bit about this one on Tuesday for what little I was there, but there's a game called No Man's Sky, which released actually on Tuesday, and it made a pretty big splash. But unfortunately, the big splash was followed by a big kaboom, something not so good. And this was the fact that after you get below the surface of the game, No Man's Sky seemed like a very unfinished game. That was very repetitive, very redundant, and very, just not fun. After after the first few hours, you start to realize, oh, you're just going to be doing the exact same thing for the next, 10,000 years that you're going to be playing this game. So, and here's an article from Gadget kind of following up on that, saying that upcoming No Man's Sky patch will fix most issues, saying that Hello Games is aware that the pre-order bonus ships are stranding players. So, No Man's Sky was released for the PlayStation 4 last week, but not without its fair share of problems. They're saying that Hello Games is aware that the game's many bugs and glitches and is working on a patch that will solve most of the critical issues in the near future. So, it's not clear what they're fixing specifically, but the team did note that the pre-order ship leaves some players stranded since it becomes pre-installed with a hyperdrive. So it negates that need to find a blueprint early on in the game that teaches you how to build a hyperdrive, which is a requirement for all new ships. So what they're saying there is that if you pre-ordered the game, they gave you this cool new fancy ship that it would take you a little while to get otherwise. Well, the fact that they gave you an advanced ship, you did not have any of the advanced fuel you needed to run the ship. So after you used it so many times, you were kind of out of luck if you were not lucky enough to get to find the blueprints for the fuel. So that's not good. But they're saying that this is arguably the game's largest issue, and that the studio is promising a quick solution. So they're also doing a few workarounds for some other amount of problems. They have a quote here saying that the number of people, players, and the length of average play session has been far more than our small team could have anticipated. Saying that that said, we're working quickly to adapt. Hello Games has brought in an outside quality assurance group that's actually bigger than the development team itself to help spot bugs, and it'll complement the existing Sony QA team. Hopefully, the studio will be able to continue improving No Man's Sky, which, for the most part, they're saying is an engaging and gorgeous experience. I've actually heard the opposite. That after you've played for about 3 hours, you realize that the only thing you're doing is running around collecting the same material, running out of bag space, selling your stuff, and buying an upgrade. And then you do that about 600 more times. And then you realize, there's not a lot to this game.
Well, didn't Josh Boykin say he really loved this game? He said that there was like a trillion.
He liked the idea of the game. I mean, there was a lot of hype going into it.
Yeah.
But when they give review copies and tech demos, you can play for about 4 or 5 hours and have a lot of fun doing it. But when it finally hit the shelves and people were able to play it for 2, 3, 4 days, there was no end game experience. Yes, there are like 10 or 14 quintillion different combinations of planets and animals, but when you come down to it, sure, you find a new planet or you find a new system, and the only thing that changes is the color of the planet. Is it poisonous or not? What plants are living there? And then you get some weird creature that is computer generated. And after
not enough. You're saying it's not enough.
Well, after you see the same thing 70 times, and it's just, oh look, another planet, and this one has copper instead of zinc, and this one has this weird Tyrannosaurus Rex looking creature instead of the little bird creature that was on the last planet, and now I'm off to a different planet. Like, it's just the same thing over and over and over again. And one of the features that they actually promised for a while there, I think they went back on it afterwards, but because there are so many different planets, they said that, yes, it's a vast universe, and the odds of you meeting another player are going to be slim to none, because this is actually done on their server. So like all the planets are hosted, over on their server, but 2 players, after a couple days, actually found themselves on the exact same planet, and the odds of that are pretty staggering. But they're able to find themselves on the exact same planet, and they were not able to meet each other. So that means that multiplayer was not included in the game, even though it was promised by the developers when it was launched.
They were hoping that nobody would meet each other.
They were hoping that out of 14 quintillion different planets, that no 2 players would meet up. I don't know, either before they got the multiplayer feature put in or what, but 2 players were.
It's like winning the lotto over and over and over again.
Right. Yeah. And 2 players were lucky enough that they met. They found themselves on the exact same planet at the exact same time, and they were not able to meet each other. So, the game studio behind it promised a lot, and really, I think a lot of people are of the mind that they shipped what feels like an unfinished game, because they're saying that in the next major content release, which is coming out in like a couple weeks, they're going to add like base building. They're going to add more upgrades for your ships. They're going to add some more combat element. They're going to add multiplayer. All things that you would assume would come in the original launch of a $60 game. Like, this game isn't $14. This game is $60 full release. So a lot of people felt like they bought an unfinished game.
You don't want that. Definitely don't want that going around circulating. Anyway, No Man's Sky. It's having problems, I guess. Okay. Now I tease this one again from Engadget. This one is entitled "Your Hard Drive Sounds Could Help Hackers Crack Your Systems." Huh? Evidently, there's a hacking technique that relies on the sounds your hard drive makes. Now go figure this out. This is, as he says, as Brittany Vincent says, this is totally bizarre and improbable. A totally bizarre and improbable way to hack someone, let alone. But evidently, they have demonstrated a way to use the sounds of your computer's hard drive to possibly transmit information. In short, they can use it to gather your data without you knowing, just by the way your hard drive sounds.
And of course, it sounds like it's only going to be available for traditional hard drive, not flash memory.
Well, it does make no noise.
Right.
So this disk filtration hack, that's what they're calling it, works by taking control of a hard drive's actuator. Much like the arm of a record player, it moves back and forth across a hard drive's platters to read and write data. And while it moves, it makes a series of various sounds. And using the right type of malware, hackers can use those very sounds for some extremely shady machinations. If the right person is listening for the right thing, those noises can let go a lot of information like an encryption key. Whoa. Now, the disk filtration method only works up to about 6 feet. That means the hacker has to be standing right next to you.
Well, that means that they have to have physical access to the hard drive.
And it's limited to a data rate of about 180 bits per minute, which
that's
is
not fast.
Not fast at all. This is not very fast, but they're saying it's quick enough to capture an encryption key in about half an hour. Now,
so I feel like if you have access to a hard drive for that long, there are other ways to get into it.
Yeah. If you see some strange person hanging around near your cubicle.
It's like, cable guy, you were done 3 hours ago. What are you doing? And it has like a microphone up to your computer. It's like, oh, nothing.
Now, she says this entire idea and method of execution is massively impractical, but it does work, except, of course, with solid state drives, as you pointed out. It's a very weird and very real way of intercepting data, as if people needed another way to do so. So this is just basically proof of concept.
Right. It's right up. It's probably not going to be the best way by any means, but it shows that, hey, it's possible.
It's possible. This is like when they had the way of infiltrating a computer by the sounds that it makes, the electronic sounds. That there are certain unique sounds that when you press a key, it makes a different sort of sound. And so they were able to decipher what people were typing just by the sounds that we're receiving. And they put people in Faraday cages or they insulate them so those sounds wouldn't leak out for potential hackers. I guess it's possible, but as she says, I mean,
but not efficient.
Yeah, there's so many better ways. But someone had to talk about it, because if no one had talked about it, then we never would have known about it. So there it is. I think I say you have, as far as this is concerned, you got nothing to worry about. You have more realistic things to worry about with your computer. This ain't one of them.
As far as I'm concerned, this is like they have your hard drive, they stole it, they have it back in their lair, and they've run out of password cracking software, and you have the strongest 64-bit password, 256-bit password ever.
Yeah.
This is their last
resort.
This is their last tool in their kit.
Mm.
And it's going to be the bottom of their toolkit, but hey, it's something that we at least know is possible now.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That is. All right. So this next story, and again, we're running short on time here. So this next story is about Riot Games, and Riot, by the way, makes the, of course, ever popular League of Legends, which continuously is one of the most played games in the world, month after month. It is long running, and it is, very, very popular. And when something becomes popular, that means that people are looking to cheat in it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is from, again, Engadget and Mr. Timothy Sipala. And Riot Games is suing a huge League of Legends cheating service.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a service called League Sharp, is under the microscope for charging between $15 and $50 a month for hacking and bots. So, cheating
makes the fun out of it. This is a game. What do you want to cheat? What? And not alone pay for cheating. This is crazy.
Because you can make more money by cheating. Because you can cheat. You can boost an account up to a certain level, to a certain rank, to a certain whatever, and then people will pay money for that account that is now at that higher rank.
No. Okay. So long as there's money involved, then I can make sense. If it's just cheating for the sake of cheating, yeah. But if they're making money, then
There's cheating for the sake of cheating, and then there's cheating to just feel better than everyone. To feel that, yes, they're playing, but I have an aimbot, and they can come at me and like they can see me first, but thanks to my cheating, I press one button and it's a headshot and they're dead. I mean, some to improve personal players, and some to just make money off of cheated accounts.
Got it.
The author starts off by saying that, of course, cheating ruins online games, and Valve has cracked down on the folks who are running amok in the Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and League of Legends developer Riot Games is doing the same. So, specifically, Riot is suing the ownership of League Sharp, which charges between $15 and $50 a month for services that grant the ability to, quote, see hidden information, automate gameplay to perform with enhanced or inhuman accuracy, and accumulate levels, experience, and items at a rate that is not possible for a normal human player. So again, all those things are highly desirable.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. But Riot tried sidestepping the litigation by contacting the site owners directly, but when the methods proved fruitless, the developer publisher got the lawyers involved. So the company claims that the owners of L Sharp have been destroying incriminating evidence and apparently have set up a Peruvian shell company to hide behind. I think everyone could use a Peruvian shell company. Those are useful. So, quote, by this complaint, Riot seeks to put a stop to a commercial enterprise that is dedicated to destroying the League of Legends player experience, harming the League of Legends community, and subverting Riot's game and its community for its own profit. And the defendants have about 21 days to respond. But yeah, no,
probably in Peruvia.
no. They're probably either in the U.S. or in China or Korea. They're somewhere else. Again, a shell corporation can be filed anywhere.
Yeah.
But the main point of this is that it really does ruin the player experience, and I think Riot, I don't want to say that Blizzard kind of led the way, but Blizzard did something similar with their botting. I believe it was called Honor Buddy, which it was made by another company, which was a shell company of another company, but they sued them in France, actually, where the corporation was held, and actually got them taken offline. But these online games, against their terms of service. I mean, it's clearly stated in their terms of service, by using this game, you agree not to use third-party applications that will give you an unfair advantage when playing the game. So it's definitely in their best interest, but also it ruins the experience. It really does. It ruins their game, and it puts their game in jeopardy that if too many people cheat or hack or make the game unfair at some level, people are going to stop playing it. And if people stop playing it, then League of Legends itself is going to go away because, hey, you don't have any players left. Yeah. So it's definitely within their best interest. And I'm happy that legal action is finally getting taken against the creators of the programs that do this.
Yeah. Well, speaking of games, there's one more here. Let's take a quick look at Minecraft. According to Engadget, Minecraft is launching on the Oculus Rift next week. All right. Oculus Rift for Minecraft. This is a big deal. According to Steve Dent from Engadget, he says, if you own an Oculus Rift and are eager to play Minecraft on it, we now roughly know when it's coming. They tweeted that it'll arrive to the Windows 10 Beta Edition sometime next week. He says, we tried the highly anticipated VR version in March and enjoyed exploring the blocky worlds in immersive 360-degree 3D. Minecraft is one of the most highly anticipated Oculus Rift titles, though the ultimate version might eventually be on Microsoft's AR HoloLens. Microsoft-owned developer Mojang currently lets you download the Windows 10 beta version for free, provided you own Minecraft for PC or Mac. You just need to hit the website and enter your credentials to get access. We presume it will remain free for registered owners once Oculus supports arrives, though Microsoft hasn't confirmed that yet. Minecraft creator Notch Person first floated the idea of an Oculus Rift version nearly 4 years ago to the day However, he canceled the project after Facebook bought Oculus, saying Facebook creeps me out. Luckily, Microsoft put the project back on track after it bought Mojang for $2.5 billion. All that turmoil is now in the past, and you will be able to grab the title in beta by August the 19th at the latest. So there you go.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter what Notch thinks anymore because Notch was paid $3 billion and Notch is no longer part of the company. So,
yeah. So there.
let Microsoft do what they want. And of course, one of the best things that they can do from their point of view is that they take the most popular game in the world, by copy sold, which is of course Minecraft, and put it on their new gaming console, or at least their new gaming system, which is going to be, of course, the Oculus Rift. So,
yeah.
They really want Minecraft to be anywhere and everywhere, and it seems like it's going to get a port to everything. So if you're a fan of Minecraft, don't worry, it's going to be on a console near you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, folks, that about wraps up the show. I guess the weekend is upon us, and hopefully you have some nice plans.
90 seconds.
Again, congratulations to Mike Wegener being our this week's social media winner of the week, and also want to thank again Ethan Garr, Vice President of Product from TelTech Systems, talking about all their cool products. You definitely want to check them out at teltech.co. You can check out the website there, and they'll take you to all the different products, the spoof card product, all of them. They're there. Hey, it about wraps up. Coming up on Monday,
60 seconds.
We're going to have looks like we're going to have a company called insurancequotes.com talking about people, homeowners that are renting out their homes and using Airbnb and VRBO. They're talking about, do you need additional insurance if you're renting your home to vacationers, and talk about some of the risks and what you can do to limit them. So that's going to be kind of interesting. And then, of course, the second hour, computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities. Hey, have a great weekend. And Ben and I are going to see you Monday, same time, same place, same station. So until Monday afternoon, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you on Monday.
Have a good one, everyone.
Woohoo!
10 seconds.
Oh, boy.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, again, everybody, thanks for watching our Hangouts. Catch a movie, some good ones coming out. And again, as I said, insurancequotes.com is going to be on with us on Monday. It's going to be an interesting week, actually. Check out the public calendar at computeramerica.com. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.